What's up? So tonight we got some Arrow, season 1, episode 6, legacies. So this episode actually, I did the opening monologue, my own version, but this show the opening monologue. It starts with it, but it has no previously. This show usually has a previously on Arrow, but this episode actually just starts off with this actually after the monologue, after the My Name is Oliver Queen intro. We start off with a bank being robbed by these people with kings and with card man, like with yeah, and we all know they're called the Royal Flush Gang. So a cop's like saying, hey, and the girl's like, she doesn't want to die, and he's like, hey, he's a cop. Then one of the guys shoots a cop, and the actual cops show up. Yeah, I got was a cop. I'm just gonna say the actual cops are there, and all the hostages come out with the masks. So then Moira is like, without Walter here. So remember, Walter left at the end of last episode for some business trip, but we all know it's because he wanted to scope out what shady things Moira is doing. So yeah, so she's like, hey, she invited the Bowens, Carter Bowen and his mom or wife. I think it's his wife. So Carter and Bowen, the actor who plays him, we all know, played Bruce Wayne, aka Tommy Elliott, on the finale of Batwoman in the premiere of Batwoman season 2. So really cool that he started off his Arrowverse days on this show. So yeah. Tommy, he's still trying to flirt with Laurel, but Laurel's like, nah, she's got some work to do. So he's like, hey, why don't I throw you a fundraiser? And she's like, nah. But then Joanna's like, well, as your best friend, you're gonna go over there and say, Tommy, we would like you to throw CNRI a fundraiser. And she basically says that. So, yeah. So yeah, he takes this advice because he goes to Thea, and Thea tells him, because Thea thinks he's talking about her, which is really creepy. That Thea thinks that Tommy's talking about her. Like, whoa, Tommy, Thea, you're like Oliver's sister. Like, okay, he's taking his ex-girlfriend, but why would Tommy ever want to date Oliver's sister? Even though he did say she was looking hot in the first episode. So yeah. So then we see Oliver and Dick training, and Oliver's like, hey, where'd you get those scars? And he's like, hey, where'd you learn to train? He's like, from a guy named Yao Fei. And he's like, where'd you get those scars? And he's like, I'm gonna tell you, but not today. So yeah. So then we see on the island now that Oliver's in the cave when he hallucinates his father. And his father basically, like, Oliver, I told you to get back and save your city, but look at where you are now. So you're not righting my wrongs, Oliver, and yeah. So Oliver's basically listening when Oliver tries to shoot himself. He realizes that the gun has no bullets in it, so it's fake. So he's like, you're just in his head. So yeah. Yeah. Which really dark. Oliver tried to do that. So Diggle's like, Diggle is like, so Oliver's like, hey, let's go after this guy. But Diggle's like, no, let's go over this guy because let's go after this other guy because he's like, hey, Dig, his father made a book, and those people are the reason they're there. But he's like, you're looking, Oliver, you have to look past your father's book. So yeah, so Oliver has, something with the Bowens, but then what happens is that the bad guys are attacking, so he has to leave and says it's something else. So yeah, I know there's a Christmas episode of Arrow, 2 episodes after, and I'll probably review it when Christmas is over. When it's January, I'll probably review that episode. So yeah, so Oliver decides to leave and suits up as the Hood, but then cops show up and start shooting. But then the bad guys start shooting at the cops. The cops start shooting at them, and yeah. So now let's get to the family of the Reston. The Restons. Yeah. So there's a mom who is played by Lana's Aunt Nell, which is really interesting. Now the actress played Lana's Aunt Nell in Smallville, which is another show that I reviewed and should get back to, but I haven't. I'm currently rewatching Sabrina Teenage Witch season 1, so it'll probably take me a long time to get back to that show because I just randomly decided to watch season 1 again. So watch all the seasons again, even though I was on season 6, but it's for refreshing, not for me just randomly wanting to watch the show. So yeah, I'm also reviewing Buffy, and I don't need any going back and watching season 1 because I know what happened. So yeah. So anyway, Oliver decides to So Oliver learns. So Oliver, dad, one of the guys in the family is all. They're like, hey, one more job and then we're out. So too bad we never see his family again. They were replaced by another Royal Flush Gang in the Flash. So yeah, too bad we never see his family again. Like this family was just an Arrow exclusive family because when the Royal Flush Gang returns in the Flash season 8, which I'll be getting to years from now, probably when I'm in college, probably. I don't know when I'll be getting that season. Or you can watch an Arrow series. I'm just saying is that there was another Royal Flush Gang who were different characters and had meta abilities, but these guys are just normal family trying to like because Oliver's dad laid the other dad off, fired him, laid him off and fired him before he can make his money. So yeah, so Thea thinks Tommy's like, Thea, thank you. Laurel loves this. And she's like, wait, this bill's for Laurel? So yeah, so Thea decides to get drunk and just try to kiss Tommy, and Tommy's like, and she's like, Laurel doesn't even care about you, bro. But I do, and kisses him, and he's like, whoa, Thea. He's like his sister, and she's like his baby sister. She's like, she didn't have a baby anymore, and he's like, nah. So she knocks herself into a waiter, and they take her home. Like, this is so creepy that Thea thought, Thea is, judge Thea in this first half, but in the later half, I know I'm not gonna like her, but still, I just do not get why Thea would think she has a crush on Tommy. But it's super creepy, by the way. Super creepy. So, yeah. So he's like, hey. So she's like, hey, Tommy, Carter Bowen is a gigantic ass. The only reason why I danced with him was because he made a check to CNRI. So she's like, what'd you think was going on, Tommy? And so yeah. So while at the party, Oliver decides to talk to his mother, and she's like, yeah, you're making all these random disappearances and all that stuff, and so yeah, and he's like, and then Diggle shows up, and she's like, Oliver, I don't know why you even decided to return at all. Like, so she just says Oliver and leaves. So Oliver goes to the party. a cop gets into a fight with Rustin and shoots him. Oliver discovers Rustin and tells the cop to get an ambulance. And Rustin, the dad, dies. So, and now that the dad dies, meaning that we'll never see his family again. So yeah. So Oliver decides to take his mom to Big Belly Burger, and she says that he's got everything on. Oliver's like, he's got nothing on Carter Bowen, and she's like, no, Oliver, you've got everything on Carter Bowen. So that's kind of where this episode ends. So what did I think about this episode? I thought it was pretty good. It's not like, it's like a one-off. It doesn't follow the list type of episode. It's kind of like a generic episode about a one-off villain to a one-off family that we'll never see again and we'll never hear about again. So, yeah, interesting that the mom played now on Smallville. That's all I gotta say about the interesting part. That I didn't know that it was cool that the actress that played Lana's aunt played the mom, played Mrs. Rustin in this episode. That was interesting. They got a former Smallville actress to appear in this show. That's kind of cool. But this episode isn't. It's okay. It's okay. It's an okay episode. But next time we get introduced to a long run of 4-episode character. But until then, may the Arrowverse, may the Green Arrow power protect you. See ya.